Math 2, Semester 2, final review live from the crest of the hill, number 1. Which of the following functions does not have a minimum, which means we are looking for a maximum, and when we have a negative a value, well, that equals our max. All right, so I've spaced it out just a little bit for us so we can see that, but f of x equals directly to the right is a positive 3. Well, it's not negative, so we can go ahead and get rid of that answer. And looking at choice B, directly to the right of our equals is a positive 2. It's not negative. Let's take a look at C and D. Well, C, there's no one there, but remember, there's that imaginary 1 that's there that's positive, so get rid of it. And if we look at answer choice D, we have that negative there representing a negative 1, creating our maximum. Number 2, what is the y-intercept of the function? F of x equals negative 5x squared plus 4x plus 12. Remember that the y-intercept is always 0 in C. The coefficient of x squared, the number in front of x squared, is our a, and the coefficient of x is our b. And the number all alone by itself there, well, highlighted in green as well, is our C. Let's just go ahead and write that as 0, 12. Circle your answer. Number 3, what is the vertex function? F of x equals x minus 4 squared minus 9. And does it represent a min or max function? Well, our vertex point is opposite the inside number or opposite our h. K stays the same, or the outside number we keep the same. So let's just go ahead and write it. Well, if we're going to take the opposite of a negative 4, well, it's going to be a positive 4. And if the negative 9, the outside number stays the same, well, we'll write our vertex is 4, negative 9. But we need to determine, is it a minimum or a maximum? And again, to the right of that equal sign, it's that positive 1 that's there, and our parabola will smile, creating a minimum. So that in totality will be your answer. Number 4, what are the x-intercepts of the function x plus 5, x minus 9? And remember, guys, if we were to set both of these equal to 0 and simply solve for them, well, we're just taking the opposite of each number and putting it with 0. So let's zoom in tight. We will write that as that positive 5 becomes a negative 5, 0. And our negative 9 becomes a positive 9, 0. Go ahead and circle your answer. Number 5, what is the axis of symmetry of the function negative 4x squared plus 12x plus 9? We have our formula here, x equals negative b over 2a, so we will do negative 1 times b. Negative 1 times our b, the coefficient of x is 12. Let's go ahead and put that in. 2 times a, negative 4. From here I will convert to orange. Negative 1 times 12 is negative 12. We'll set that over 2 times negative 4, which is negative 8. From here, you will have to reduce the fraction. 4 goes into both of these, giving us 3 over 2. If you were to do, let's just say, negative 12 divided by negative 8 in your calculator, and you're like, oh my goodness, I got 1.5, well, hit math, then hit the enter button twice in a row. And again, what did it convert to? 3 over 2. All right, so number 6, what is the vertex function? F of x equals 2x squared minus 24x plus 32, and does it represent a min or max function? All right, x equals, and again, opposite b over 2a, or negative 1, or negative b over 2a, so negative 1 times b. We will plug in and chug along. Plug it, chug it, plug it, chug it. Choo, choo. Negative 1 times negative 24 gives us a positive 24. We'll set that over 2 times 2, which is 4, and 24 divided by 4 equals 6. All right, so for our vertex point, we know it goes x, y. Well, we know what x is. We just solve for it. And every time we see x, we're going to just plug it back, or x, we're going to plug that 6 back into the function. So I've actually kind of set it up a little bit. We have 2x squared. So that 2, I'll put it in black this time. But then it has the x. So what that x is, well, we know it's 6 now. Put in your parentheses so your calculator does not make an error. It really helps when it's negative. Minus 24x, so I'm going to put the minus 24, and then we have an x again, which is 6, followed through by a plus 32. This time we will go ahead and enter that into our calculator. I'm going to start with the 2, open parentheses, 6, close, hit x squared to square it, minus 24, open 6, close, plus 32, hit enter. What do we get? Negative 40. Let me switch to my teal, and we will drop that in for us. All right, for number 7, the path of a water balloon can be described by the equation h of x equals 6x squared minus 18x plus 13, where h of x is the height of the water balloon in feet and x is the number of seconds that have passed since it was launched. Which of the following points describes where the water balloon started? Well, we can't start in negative time, so it's always going to be 0c. And what was our launching point? Well, it's going to be y-intercept 0c, and we know that c is 13. So we're just going to write our answer is 0, 13, and circle your answer. Number 8, the path of a baseball can be described by the equation h of x equals negative 3x squared plus 48x minus 144, where h of x is the height of the baseball in feet and x is the number of seconds that have passed since it was launched. Which of the following points describes the maximum height of the baseball? Yes, Judge launches bombs. So does Showtime. Thank you. Plug into DESMOS and identify the vertex. All right, guys, we can do the exact same thing we just did for number 6, but I do want to get you comfortable with DESMOS. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that up for us, and let's go ahead and try entering one in. And we are going to put in the negative 3x squared, so this minus here, DESMOS does not have the negative, so use the minus 3x. We're going to hit that a squared there, that will square it. Then we'll do plus 48x minus 144. All right, and we're looking for the vertex. Since it's negative, it'll frown like negative people. And then if we just click on this red graph, that line, if I can zoom in, it makes it a little tough, but you can see that great point. I click on there, it's our vertex. Our vertex is 8, 48. I'm going to try to get out of the app here, go back into Notability, and simply just write our vertex point is 8 and 48. Circle your answer. Yes, please, guys, I do want you to use DESMOS for the majority of this. It makes life a lot simpler. We have learned the skills in solving by hand for each of these repeatedly in class this semester. The path of a baseball can be described by the equation h of x equals negative 0.5x squared plus 7x plus 5, where h of x is the height of the baseball in feet, and x is the number of seconds that have passed since it was launched. Showtime on this one. Which of the following points describes where the baseball hits the ground? Round to the nearest foot. Plug into DESMOS and identify the x-intercept to the right. So when we're looking at our graph parabola, it's where is that ball going to land when it hits the ground? All right, so let's just go ahead and go back to DESMOS. Let's plug in our function. Let's get comfortable. All right, negative 0.5x squared. Let me read this problem in the dark. Plus 7x plus 5. And we want to find the x-intercept where it lands. Well, here's our x-axis. And if we just click on the graph itself, well, 14.68, we will round that to the whole number of 15 because that 6 tells us to round up. So let's just go ahead and write 15 as our, well, 15, 0 as our answer. Given f of x equals x squared, what is the shift in the vertex of the graph? All right, inside here we have a positive 5. What is the opposite of a positive 5? Yes, exactly, it is a negative 5. And if we come over here, well, we're going to go to the right when it's a positive number, but we'll go to the left when it's a negative number, like our negative 5. So this shifts 5 units left. Given f of x equals x squared, what is the shift in the vertex of the graph f of x minus 9? Well, this tells us to keep the same number. So that negative 9 we'll put right there. Well, we go up on the y-axis when it's positive, but when it's negative, we go down. So we'll put down 9 units is the shift. And moving forward to number 12, what is the equation of g of x of f of x is translated to the right 5 units and up 12 units? All right, so our inside number is our h, which is right here. So I'm just going to do a little highlighting for us, as we will need to take the opposite of this number, all right? So let's take a look. If we were originally going to the right 5 units, well, that would be positive. But if we need to take the opposite, we'll turn this into a negative 5. And if we go up 12 units, well, take a look. If we go up, that's positive, and this is going to stay the same. So that up 12, that positive 12, we will write as plus 12. Go ahead and circle your answer. For number 13, determine the greatest common factor of 18a to the 6b cubed plus 27a to the 5th b squared minus 45a to the 4th b. We will start with the numbers in red. What is the largest number? It's 45, 27, and 18. All right, so when we start with our answer choices, and again, test-taking strategies, what's the largest of these 3 different numbers? Well, we have an 18. 18 goes into 18, yes, but does 18 go into 27? No, so we can't use this one. Then I want to check the 9. All right, well, 18 divided by 9 is 2, 27 divided by 9 is 3, and 45 divided by 9 is 5. So the greatest number of 9 works. Now when we're working with our exponents, a to the 6th, a to the 5th, a to the 4th, they all share the same letter of a. They sure do. But what's the smallest exponent that can go into all of them? It is a 4. We have a b cubed, b squared, and a b. So I can put the b, and we have to the 3rd, to the 2nd, and by itself. So we can just go ahead and circle our answer. And if we look right below at answer choice D, we do have our answer. So start with the largest number, divide it down. 27 divided by 18, just to show you, gives us 1.5. So it's not going to work with the decimal. The expression x squared minus 4x minus 32 is equivalent to, we can write the factors of c or use answer choices to your advantage. Again, guys, when we combine number fluency, all right, with number sense, and we have test-taking strategies without even knowing a formula on the math portion of the ACT, we can score between an 18 to a 21. Always know that, so check your answer choices. All right, we need to find the 2 numbers, so the factors when multiplied, that equal negative 32, but when subtracted or combined here, give us negative 4. 8 times negative 4 is negative 32, but 8 minus 4 equals 4. So 8 minus 4 equals 4. It doesn't equal negative 4. So then we're going to do negative 16 plus 2 equals negative 14. It's not negative 4. Get rid of it. Then we will do negative 8, because it's telling us negative 8, plus 4 equals, oh my goodness, it does equal negative 4. And negative 8 times 4 gives us negative 32. We have found our answer. The expression x squared minus 81, we will take the square root of each of x squared. I'm going to drop that x in both of them. All right. I'm going to put a plus and a minus. And from here on out, we will take the square root of 81, which is 9. Drop, and you are done with 15. 16. Again, same thing. Boom. Boom. Except this time, that negative here, let me make that a little smaller. My bad on that. What we're going to do is minus, minus. Let me get rid of the red there and the red there. Let's start fresh. All right. X squared, x, square root of 121 is 11. Negative 11 times negative 11 gives us a positive 121. Negative 11 plus negative 11, or negative 11 minus 11 gives us negative 22. Number 17, 4x squared minus 28x plus 49 can be expressed as, and again, guys, same thing. All right, let me start with our b term. We have that negative right there. I don't like that. Let me zoom in a little bit. Which means both of our signs here will be negative. And it's only when we have our perfect squares for a and c. Square root of 4 is 2. Square root of x squared is x. So we'll drop our 2x for each. Square root of 49 is 7. And go ahead and circle your answer. But this is also equal to, and you might see this, guys, as an answer choice. I don't know how they're going to do it on the quiz. But if you don't see an answer choice with 2x minus 7 and 2x minus 7, you might see one as 2x minus 7 squared. You also might see it for this one too. I don't know, not certain how it's going to play out, but just know that those are the exact same representations. Those are both the exact same answer, just written slightly different. All right, 18x cubed plus 13x squared plus 36x, or use the answers. All right, we don't need to really write the factors when given a standardized test. And again, guys, this is a test-taking strategy. We need to find the two numbers that, when multiplied, give us a positive 36. And because a times c this time is positive, we want to add those together to get to 13. All right, so let's take a look. 12 times negative 3. Well, 12 times negative 3 is negative 36. So let's get rid of that one. Negative 4 times negative 9. Oh, well, that's a positive 36. I'm going to put answer choice B here. But if we did negative 4 plus negative 9, well, that equals negative 13. Let me put that in blue. Does it equal a positive 13? It does not. Get rid of B. 6 times 6 gives us a positive 36, but 6 plus 6 is 12. Let's do 9 times 4. Again, is 36. And this time, for answer choice D, if we do 9 plus 4, oh, not 14, 9 plus 4 equals 13. We have the positive 13 there. 9 times 4 gives us 36. Go ahead and circle answer choice D. Number 19, solve 6x squared minus 7x minus 3 equals 0 for x. You can use DESMOS or follow the steps to solve. Guys, I'm not going to kid you here. Go to DESMOS. You can use it on the ACT, so why not get comfortable with it now? All right, let's save some time. Let's go straight to DESMOS. 6x squared minus 7x minus 3. So 6x squared minus 7x minus 3. Find your x-intercepts. Again, click on that green parabola that's graphed. Our answer choices will be 1.5 and negative 0.333. If you run into something like this, think about this as 100. Well, if we do times 2, 0.666, times 3 is 0.999. So that'll be a negative 1/3 in 1.5. So let me go ahead and do this. We have a negative 1/3. and 1.5. All right, I am going to go ahead and solve this one for us. Again, we would label the A equals 6, the B equals -7, and the C equals -3. From here, we would do our X factor. A times C going up top. 6 times -3 would be -18. Our B goes on the bottom, which is -7. And then it's always AX, AX. Our A is 6. I'm going to do a 6X and then a 6X. Then we need to find the factors of -18 that when subtracted give us -7. Well, 2 times -9 is -18. So I'll go ahead and I'll do our 2. We're finding our factors here. And then we will use -9. But from here we have to reduce. 6 over 2, well 6 divided by 2 is 3, so we'll rewrite this as 3x over 1. 6x over -9, well 3 goes into both of them. We can rewrite this as 2x over -3. We're going to take these and we're just going to set them both equal to 0. 3x plus 1 equals 0. 2x minus 3 equals 0. From here, we will just simply solve. -1 minus 1. 3x equals -1. Divide each by 3. And we get x equals -1 over 3, just like we have here. Plus 3, plus 3. 2x, bring it down, equals 3. Divide each side by 2. X equals 3 over 2, which is also equal to 1.5. If you do use DESMOS and you're like, Mr. Richards, what is the fraction of 1.5? Well, let's just type in the 1.5. Let's hit math, and then let's hit enter twice in a row, and it gives us our fraction of 3 over 2. Oh my goodness, again, DESMOS or follow the steps to solve. Guys, go to DESMOS. The ACT is time management. So let's be time efficient. X squared plus 5x equals 24. X squared plus 5x equals 24. Let's find our x-intercepts of 3, 0 and -8, 0. So our answers will be 3 and -8. Simplify 162. We need to find the greatest perfect square that goes into 162. First, let's check to see if 162 is a perfect square. Second, x squared, 162. Hit enter. Oh my goodness, we get a decimal. Does 100, is that ever going to go into 162? No. 10 times 10 is 100, so that's a perfect square. 9 times 9 is 81. Well, let's check to see if 81 goes into 162. It certainly does. All right, so we know that this is equal to the square root of 2 times 81, which is equal to, what's the square root of 81? Oh, it is 9. Thank you. And what's left underneath? Root 2. Go ahead and circle your answer. We're going to do the same thing here, except we're just going to include the imaginary number I. All right, so let's go ahead and check. We already know that 100 is not going to work because it goes 200, 300, 400. 81 is going to hit 162. It's not going to hit 147. Let's try 64. Let's see if that works if we're uncertain. 147 divided by 64, because 8 times 8 is 64. Oh, we get a decimal. What's 7 times 7? Oh, 49. Let's try it. 147 divided by 49. It does give us a whole number. So that means, oh my goodness, this is equal to 3 times 49, which is equal to 147. But don't forget that -1. Let's take the square root of 49. equals 7. Let's take the square root of -1, which is our imaginary number I. And what is still left inside the 3? Go ahead and circle your answer. Solve for x, 3x squared minus 147 equals 0. Again, guys, truly, if you wanted to, you could go and just put it into DESMOS. But let's go ahead. Let's work through one for fun. The 3x squared, bring it down. Nothing changes there. Sorry, I was just thinking about going back to a different color. Equals 147. Then we'll divide each by 3. That'll give us that giant 1. We don't need to write the 1 in front of the x squared. 147 divided by 3 gives us our 49. And our last step here will be to take the square root of each, giving us x equals plus minus 7, because remember, it's an equation. Your answer choice might also look like this: x equals 7 comma negative 7. You need to have a positive and a negative within your answer. Do not circle 7, 7 or -7, -7. 24, find the solutions. We have our binomial that's squared. Well, let's go ahead and take the square root of each side. All right, boom, that's going to cancel it out. Bring down your x plus 7 equals. And remember, with the equation, we're going to have a 14 and a -14. And then when we're solving for x, it's hanging out with plus 7, so we'll do -7, but we'll do it to both of these. And again, guys, you could go straight to DESMOS. Bring down your x equals 7 and -21. Circle your answer. 25, find the solution. Set 2, 4x squared minus 7x equals 2. Let's just go ahead and use DESMOS. I don't feel like walking through all the steps. You had to shift the -2, then do the x factor, which works on this one. But 4x squared minus 7x equals 2. Let's see if we can get it to go on DESMOS. 4x squared minus 7x equals 2. We do have x-intercepts. You see where that parabola crosses our x-axis. Let's click on it. -0.25. All right, think about money here. If you have a quarter, how many make a dollar? So you'll take that -1/4, set it over the 4 that makes a dollar. So our answers then will be -1/4 and 2. All right, let's go to 26, solve the equation, or follow the steps to solve. Guys, again, go to DESMOS. 4x squared minus 20x minus 96. 4x squared minus 20x minus 96. Boom, boom, -3, 8. Go ahead and write your answers. I just wanted to change to purple for some odd reason. All right, 27, quadratic formula, solve the equation. DESMOS and round decimal to the 10th. Well, why don't we just plug it in then? 3x squared plus 6x equals 14. 3x squared plus 6x equals 14. 3x squared plus 6x equals 14. All right, we will round to the nearest 10th. So when we're rounding here, the -3.38, all right, that 8 will convert that 3 to a 4, so we'll do -3.4, and we will do 1.4. So -3.4 and 1.4. Circle your answer. 28, solve the equation by quadratic formula. This time, guys, we will have to go through it. Step 1, label A, B, C, and plug into the formula. A equals 3, B equals 6, C equals -2. Here's our formula. Give me the formula. I need the formula. B is 6. Open up that radical. Tells us to do B squared minus 4 times our A of 3 times our C of 2, close that, we'll set it over 2 times a, 2 times 3. I walk you through all the steps, guys, so I know sometimes it may take a little bit of time, but don't worry about it, you'll be fine. Let's see, that's perfect. All right, x equals, then tells us to do negative 1 times b, so negative 1 times 6, well, that's negative 6. I'm going to, Mr. Richard, you forgot the plus minus there. I did. Sorry about that. I'm kind of working in a hurry here. Then it tells us to do everything underneath our radical. So I'm not going to highlight the radical itself because we're just going to enter in the discriminant to our calculator. All right, we have a 6 squared minus 4, 3, 2, minus 4 times 3 times negative 2. Hit enter. What do we get? We do get 60. And then we will set that over 2 times a, which is 2 times 3. And 2 times 3 is 6. Great job, class. It says to simplify the radical if we can. Factors of 60, in case you guys need to get to the factors, I just want you to hit y equals. Type in your number. This time it's going to be 60, so 60. Hit division. Hit that xton to get your x. Hit second. And then hit graph. It'll give you your list. And then it's just a matter of knowing the perfect squares. Maybe I'll give you a chart that has them down, but let's take a look. We're going to look for something that's greater than 1. Oh, we have a 4. Okay, so the next one would be 16, but I know that won't work, so we'll go with 4 and 15. All right, so right here we're going to simplify the radical. So that equals 15 times 4, with 4 being this perfect square, which equals 2 root 15, and that's the one we will use when we set up our next portion. X equals negative 6 plus minus 2 root 15 over 6. And then it tells us in light purple here to reduce the outside numbers if we can. All right, what's the smallest here? We have a 2. Does 2 go into 6? It sure does. We will divide each of the outside numbers by 2. All right, so let me switch this. Negative 6 divided by 2 is negative 3. God, that's an ugly looking 3. Sometimes they come out like that for me. Plus minus 2 divided by 2 is 1. I'm not going to write the 1, but I will write the root 15. And then I will set that over 6 divided by 2, which is 3. And we now have a full answer. 28 and 30 would be like the most challenging, I think, on the quiz. But honestly, guys, you can battle and fight through this, no problem. No reason not to get a 100%. All right, right here, when you get that x squared by itself, minus 289. Yeah, I know my writing is a little sloppy right now. I'm in a hurry. Equals negative 289. We will take the square root of each of these. Let's go purple. Yeah, I'd been using that. X equals, now because we have a negative number, first let's check, is 289 a perfect square? Second, then hit x squared, then put in your 289, hit enter. Oh my goodness, it is. It's 17, but because it's negative, we're gonna have a plus minus 17i, or you might see your answer choice written as 17i and negative 17i. So either of these will work. If you don't see this as an answer selection, make sure to select the positive 17i and the negative 17i. But it's also another one where if you have a negative number here, 289, when you bring this down, it's negative. Well, anything with 2 positives, go ahead and get rid of. Anything with 2 negatives, go ahead and get rid of. Anytime you see that equals, that should assist us. And last but not least, number 30. Coefficient of x squared, there's nobody home, so it's just that imaginary 1 in front. B is 3, C is 13. Let's go ahead, we labeled, let's plug it into the formula. -1, our B, again, 3. Follow the formula, plus minus. Mr. Richards, you forgot on 28. I did initially, my goodness. All right, then it says to do that B squared. That's really important to put this in parentheses when it's negative. That way the calculator, if you use an 83 or 82, 84, whatever it may be, will not make a mistake for you. C being 13. Set that over 2 times A, which is 2 times 1. And then from here, guys, again, I know, Mr. Richards, baby steps. I know. -1 times 3 is -3. Bring down that plus minus. Again, everything, and look, step 3, everything underneath the radical, our discriminant here. We're just going to put in the calculator. Open 3, close it, hit x squared, -4. Open 1, close, open 13, close, hit enter, we get -43. Set that over, 2 times 1, which is 2. Simplify the radical if we can. So we have x equals, I'm going to bring down that -3. Bring down our plus minus. We're going to take a look and analyze our radical here. What do we notice about the number inside of it? Great job, it is negative, so we're at least going to have an I. 43, we will not have a perfect square that goes into it. So when we do this here, I'm going to we're going to do our orange. We're still going to simplify because we do have that negative. This is going to equal I root 43. 3 plus minus I root 43. Set that over our 2, and since I is represented by that 1, well, we're not going to reduce anything, and guess what? Step 6, we don't even need to do. Go ahead and circle your answer. The review is complete. Oh, it's been a wonderful, fun year again. Thank you all. Have an awesome summer. Enjoy yourselves. Continue to dominate. Continue to crush. And let's just ace this baby. Let's go!